What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your very first time joining me. My name is Jessica. I'm a mother as well as a makeup lover, of course. So I know I look really crazy, okay, but I'm actually doing a Shigo cosplay like inspired look. So I know this is not like, when you think of like a skin tint, this is not the vibe, but I did really want to use these products because I just got them in the mail, so I really wanted to put them to the test, and then I'm kind of just doing this like fun little makeup look for my TikTok. So I am not going to be doing my eyes. I did not film my eye makeup because I don't think anybody's going to be wanting to walk around with swirls on their eyes. So yeah, so this video is going to be solely complexion based. I actually used, my full face is going to be Jaclyn Cosmetics products. I was able to do my full face using only Jaclyn Cosmetics, so I'm very excited about that. I waited for that day since she started coming out with face products that I'd be able to do a full face of like Jaclyn Cosmetics. So that is what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be using both the skin tint and the concealer, as well as like her blush, her bronzer duos, her under eye setting powders, her blush sticks, her blush powders, and then her highlighter. Yeah. So I guess the only thing that's not Jaclyn Cosmetics is I didn't use anything on my eyes, Jaclyn, and then my lip, obviously she doesn't have a black lip. I actually used the Dragon Beauty. Look how cute this is. So yeah. If you're curious to see my thoughts and opinions on Jaclyn Cosmetics and if it's worth it, then you already know what to do. Please keep on watching. Okay, so before we get started, I'm going to be doing like a full face as much as possible of Jaclyn Cosmetics because I do have like a ton of her products in front of me, so we're going to use all of them. So I did already prime my skin. I went in with the No Problem, the Touch and Soul No Problem Primer. This stuff is so good. I have a really big issue with like huge pores, so that's one of the things. This is a skin blurring primer, which I'm also about blurring, but I have like a lot of big pores that I try to cover up, so that's kind of like my main thing. So yeah, so we're just going to jump right in and get to applying this baby. Okay, let's see. How am I going to do this? So, I'm thinking, so usually I use a brush to apply my products. I've been using this e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, but I also really like to use the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Bye Bye Foundation. This brush is expensive and it's kind of already falling apart, so that sucks. So, but yeah, these are the two brushes I'm using, that I use. I'm going to use the brush on one side of my face, and then I'm just going to use a damp sponge on the other side. The same with the concealer, or no, actually I would just use really a sponge for the concealer, so I'll probably just stick with the sponge. Sometimes I'll use a brush for my concealer, but I usually always use a sponge, so we'll do that. So yeah. Okay, so this is supposed to be, I got the shade, let's see what I got the shade Fair. This is supposed to be an airless pump, so I'm just going to do two little squirts, and then I'm going to apply half. I'm going to do this half with a brush, and then I'm going to blend this half with my sponge. Okay, 100% seeing the evening of the skin tone on this side. So first impression, I think that it applies with sponge much better, because like on this side there's kind of like some brush like streaks, but it looks so natural like on my skin. I definitely just see like it literally just like evened out my skin tone, which is really nice. I could definitely see how this would be a nice primer as well. But yeah, I think it looks better on the side where I sponged it in. I think I'm going to try to go for another layer though. So I'm going to do another layer. Yeah, did not layer up well. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but I guess I'll just put some on my forehead and on my nose. I definitely agree with the claims that it evened out my skin tone. But also, like, what am I going to do about that giant zit on my chin? But I mean, my forehead looks, yeah. Okay. I'm going to take the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. This is a very, very, like, lightweight, natural bronzer. So I think this would look really good with, like, this natural makeup we're going to have going on today. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this. My cheekbones, my forehead, and then my nose for nose contour. I guess this is nose bronzing, isn't it? Okay, so I'm only going to do one section at a time, just to make sure that it blends out. I don't want to have like any issues. I want to make sure that I'm testing it right. Let's see how it goes. Okay, this literally, it literally did not even stick to my under eye. That was weird. I want to try this again. I want to try this concealer again with, maybe without the skin tint and see how that does. But literally, it didn't even stick. It literally just stuck right there. Hold on, let me do the other eye. Let me try a brush. And my sponge. Okay, I feel like with the brush and then a sponge, it actually, I think my sponge just like picked up all of the product. As you could clearly see, the brush gives it far more coverage. Let's bring some down here. And I'm very just gently tapping it over with my sponge. I know my under eyes look like really pale, but that's okay because I'll go in with some powder and fix that up. Okay, so let me zoom you guys in. So this is before I set it or anything. So we're going to zoom in an ungodly amount. So I feel like it doesn't look great, but also my makeup's not done. But yeah, my skin does not look hot right now. I want to see how it looks after I set it and everything. Yeah, but if you look around my nose, which I mean, my nose never looks that great, so I'm not going to hold it against it. I want to see how it looks set though. So I think the next part of my process is going to be, I'm going to take the Jaclyn Cosmetics, her cream to powder blush sticks. Now these I love. These are so good. The formula is so nice, and they're so like, they look dark, but they're very, very blendable, and you can like build them up. So I really like these. I'm going to take the shade Overruled, and I'm going to take the shade Swoon. So my son got into these. We're not going to talk about it, okay? We're not going to talk about it. So I'm just going to put the darker shade. I'll just do one side at a time, because I don't want to fuck nothing up. And then I'm going to take the shade Swoon, and I'll put that right there, like that. Okay. So the biggest difference that I noticed between the concealer formula and like the cream like blush sticks is that when I apply this cream blush, it looks so like smooth and airbrushed, but under my eyes looks crusty and dusty, low key. But like, let me get close. Can you just see how smooth my cheeks look? Yeah, these blushes are definitely one of her like best products. I also really like her under eye powder, which we're going to be going in with next. So, okay. So I'm just patting out the concealer to make sure there's no creases. And then I'm going to take her face palette. And I'm actually going to take this more, like, darker tone. Usually I'll go for, like, the real bright ones. But I'm actually going to just take it on the sponge. I'm going to take this more, like, yellowy one, I guess. Because I want to kind of match this more to my skin tone. Okay. I was going to use her brightening powder, but I think my eyes are bright enough. So I think I'm going to skip this step. I just use that to kind of set my whole face. Now, on camera, I think it looks really, really good. Like, you can't really tell, like, anything. But, like, on this side, I think it looks pretty good, actually. Like, so on this side of my eye, where I used the brush first, I think that it actually looks really good, like, smooth. But on this side of the eye, where I use my sponge... See, I'm thinking it was kind of user error on that one. Because, like, I used my sponge on this one, and it kind of just absorbed all of the product. And now that I, like, had to put another coat, it looks cakey, because I kind of caked it on. So, I definitely say that for both of these products, definitely don't try layering them, because they don't layer well. So, I think that this under eye looks really good, actually. Definitely medium coverage. Like, you could definitely still see the line under my eye, but I always have that no matter what concealer I use. But this side where I layered it up, it does look a little bit cakey. So I would recommend definitely not layering these up. Okay, so I want to finish doing the rest of my makeup. So I'm actually going to take the Jaclyn Cosmetics, the blush and bronzer duo in the shade Lilac Love and Top Tan. But I'm only going to take the bronzer. I feel like this product is, like, you know, very, like, needs to be built up, which again is really nice for this kind of everyday vibe, you know, no makeup look. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of that action, not too much. And then I'm also gonna take the Jaclyn Luminous powder in the shade Do Me. I'm just gonna take this down my face. Now I have both of her rouge blush palettes, so let's see. I'm going for Shigo today, so I'm thinking orange on the cheeks. I think I'm actually going to take, so my son got into this, look at it. You can't really see, it's scratched up. Oof. I'm going to take this shade, which is called Fancy Pants, which is kind of like a corally shade. And I'm only going to put a little bit of this, because Shigo's not very blushed up like I like to be. Okay, damn. I was able to do my full face Jaclyn Cosmetics because boom, highlight now. We had the blush, the bronzer, the skin tint, the concealer, the setting powder. Bitch, full face Jaclyn Cosmetics. I'm so hyped right now. So I'm going to take her Flash highlighting palette, and now I like to just mix all of the shades together. Just like that. So I mix them all together at first. And then what I'll do is I'll take the, like, pinky shade. And I'll just kind of go over my blush with that to kind of give, like, a blush topper vibe, because it is a little bit dark just to go in as just highlighter. And then I'll take the shade Gleam and just extra brighten up the high points. So now I'm going to go ahead and set my face. I'm worried that my blush is going to look crazy, because in my viewfinder, it looks so crazy, but I swear, like, in person, it looks so, like, beautiful, and, like, oh, it looks so good. But also, my viewfinder kind of picks up a little bit different than it does, like, when I get into my editing app, so we're just going to hope for the best on that one. Let's go with the Nimya Set It and Forget It setting spray, baby. Oof, I love the way that smells. So So, if you are on TikTok and you like makeup on TikTok, I'm sure you've seen, her name is Bryn, something like that. Bryn Lynn or some shit like that. Not some shit, that's kind of rude. But like, she has the most beautiful face routine, and part of her routine is she, kind of had a little rough spray there. So she sets her face, she lets it dry, like, majority of the way to like all the way, and then she takes the Beauty Bakery flour setting powder, and then she'll go over it any place that she wants to look smooth. So that's what I'm gonna do. My setting spray is just about set, so I'm gonna take some of this powder, and I like my under eyes. I've been doing this step a lot, so like after I set, go in with like some of the powder, and I do find that this does make it look so much more like smooth and like airbrushed and like more natural. Okay, so here is the completed look. So I recently just bought the Dragon Beauty, the black lipstick, which can't really read it because it's on black print, but this is the Dragonglass matte lipstick in Black Luxe, I think. I really like this formula, and it smells really good. It kind of smells like cake. I wanted to give you guys my final thoughts and opinions on Jaclyn Cosmetics, her new Complexion collection. So I know that I was supposed to probably do more natural makeup, but that's not my vibe, you know? Everybody's like, oh, can you do like natural makeup? And I'm just like, no, just kidding. So I'm going to start with the Skin Perfecting Blurring Tint. So definitely it did do exactly like how it claims. So it definitely did even out my skin tone. It didn't really cover up my spots or like my acne or anything like that. But it does do what it claims to do, which is even out my complexion and my skin tone. And I think it sits on my skin really, really beautifully. And I'm not seeing any issues at all with it sticking like weirdly to my, you know, acne or my texture or anything like that. So I really, really like this. I want to try it also as a primer and see how it does like under foundations to see just, you know, if it's gonna look good like under a foundation. So I definitely am going to be, God, my hair's gonna get on my nerves. So I definitely am going to give this another try under a foundation. Also, I want to use a different concealer and see how it works with like my other, you know, complexion products that I already own. But other than that, I think this is really good. And if you're willing to spend the $36 for it, I would highly recommend it. I like it. I think that this is a really good product. So now up for the concealer. So on this side, I used a sponge first, and on this side, I used just the brush. So when I used the sponge on this side, it kind of lifted up the product, but when I went over it, like, when I went on this side with just this brush, I didn't have that same issue, and actually this under eye looks really, really nice. Like, it doesn't look like cakey or anything like that. Like, it looks like really smooth. On this side where I had to go in with another layer of the concealer, it does look more cakey under my eyes. I think that it does look really good. You have to really be mindful with both of these products not to layer them up because they don't layer really well. So if you're somebody who likes to like go in and layer products, I don't think that you would enjoy these because, like I said, you can't layer them up. But as far as that, I didn't find that this was hard to blend out or anything like that. Besides, like when I blended out with my sponge, the sponge was just kind of picking it up. I do want to try the concealer with my other, like with an actual foundation preferred to the Skin Tint, because this is a medium like coverage, medium to full coverage concealer, and this is like a Skin Tint. So I want to try some like a different concealer with the Skin Tint, and I also want to try a foundation, like a actual foundation with the concealer. But this is just kind of like a first impression, so I can't really say like if I 100% like love it or not. Like I said, I do want to try these products again, but I didn't seem to have the same issues that a lot of people had with it like drying really quickly. My biggest issue was that the sponge kind of picked it up. The brush laid it down beautifully, and then, you know, I had to put another layer, so it kind of looks a little bit cakey under my eyes, which when we do the up close, I'll do like an up close of my face. Usually like I'll do an up close of my eyes, but I'll do an up close of my face makeup so you guys could see kind of what I mean. So the side that does not have my bangs is the side that you guys are going to see like the cakiness on. Now I do have like texture under my eyes, and like fine lines. I kind of always have that like one or two like just defined strips under my eyes. Some concealers are a little bit better about like blurring that out. So yeah, so I'm not holding that against this concealer or anything like that. I think that on camera it looks really, really beautiful. And like from about from about like this far, I think that it looks really good. But if you're like, if my man's was like all in my face, he'd probably be like, girl, you look a little cakey. You know what I mean? But other than that, I did use all of I did do like a full face of Jaclyn Cosmetics, so I'm really, really happy with the outcome of my makeup. I think it does look really, really beautiful, but I'm a little bit confused to why she launched the skin tint with the concealer together, because they don't really go together, you know what I mean? So yeah. So those are my thoughts and opinions on the new Jaclyn Cosmetics Complexion collection. I am going to be doing, I will be using these more in future videos, so if you're interested to see like how I feel down the line after using them a few more times, definitely do subscribe so that way you don't miss any of my videos. But yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like me and if you like my content. And without further ado, we're going to go right on ahead. Roll the clip.